What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Redbeard's Garage, and today we finally got the 5x10 trailer from Harbor Freight. This is a trailer in a box. It comes in these 4 boxes here. Super pumped about this because they were supposed to completely redid their old Hallmaster trailer and basically redid it completely with this new set. They revealed this 2 years ago at SEMA, and they had even more options for it at this past SEMA. So I'm really excited to be one of the first ones to get this trailer. It does not come with any kind of wood, any kind of boards or anything for the trailer. We do have to run down to Lowe's and get that, but we should have everything in the box to get us started. They do sell a set of ramps. They sell some load leveling jacks that basically where you can load the trailer without having it hooked up to a truck so it won't tip. They have some, also, in addition to that as well, what is it, ramps? They have ramps. They have load level jacks. I'm missing 2 things. What is it? Son of a gun. Do you know?
Winch.
No. We do not have the ramps. We don't have the jacks or anything yet. We just have the basic trailer. So we're going to put this together, and when we get the other accessories, we'll do a video on all the accessories on it. So we're going to get right into it. Open these 4 boxes, find the instructions. Don't know which box they're in, and then we'll walk through step by step how to put together this Hallmaster 5x10 trailer from Harbor Freight. All right, so we've got these side frame rails. If you build one of these trailers, of course, you're gonna have instructions. You need to follow every freaking word of the instructions. Do not skip and think you know how something goes, because
you don't.
You do not. So we got it sitting up here on the table. We've already put the passenger side together. Now this is the driver's side. It does have the wiring harness. As you can see, you got to feed it in and it pokes out in a couple different spots to go to other parts of the frame. So this cross member, this is where your shackle will bolt up for the suspension. It does have an arrow on it there. That arrow is going to line up with the crack of those 2 meeting. The 2 in the center are just spacer tubes. That's all they're used for. I'm assuming, does it say to clamp them together? You know, okay, so they're just spacer tubes. I don't understand why you even need them, to be honest, but maybe clamp them together once you get everything adjusted. But you have these little T-nuts with these holders, and they drop down into these tubes, and then you rotate them like so, and then you use a screwdriver to slide them around, and that's what's you're gonna line up with these holes. So we're gonna get those put in. We're gonna get this set on, then you gotta do some measuring. We'll get this all bolted up, and then we'll have both frame rails done.
Alright, that's it.
Tap it very lightly. There. Now measure that and get the other one the same.
38 and 16 past 5/8. And that's 5/8, so it needs to come this way.
Yeah. Pretty square with that in?
I mean, to the eye, it looks like it.
Man. To the eye is good enough for me in a Harbor Freight trailer.
Then we'll pull the center parts out.
Go, cowboy. All right, so it comes with these assembly legs. This is literally just to hold the trailer up off the ground, which is pretty cool. And we're gonna bolt these like so across these runners, and they want it 9 inches from the side. But what's funny 9 inches. I mean, I'm sure this doesn't matter, but 9 inches different from this side to this side. You know what I'm saying? Because of offset. So I don't think it matters that much. We use these same T-nuts that we set in here and rotate. Now we have an assembly leg, so we're going to do this on the passenger side, and then this will hold it up off the ground and we can measure it and square it up. All right, so we now have it moved onto the ground. We've got it 5 foot apart. We've also squared it by measuring corner to corner. It didn't take that long. We made some marks on the concrete that helped us, but that's the trailer right there. So the back of the trailer's towards me, the front's towards the garage door, so of course we can pull it out. But so the main headache with this thing, which I can't imagine engineering a trailer that you bolt together, but is this cross member. Is a little bit frustrating figuring out the directions, but once you do, I think it's going to go pretty smooth.
Yeah, once we figured it out on the first one, the second one went.
Yeah, it was no problem. So Lonnie's the instruction guy, and
good luck.
Good luck.
We're gonna get 3 steps and be like, oh, we've messed up at the beginning.
Forget one little bolt, gotta take the whole entire thing together. Because what we did was we got these side plates swapped, and it's a massive problem because I'll show you on the leaf spring. Okay, so now it's cross member time. So next we're installing the front bumper, the front portion of the trailer. We got these corner brackets. We had to assemble some pieces. Again, we can sit here and try to explain all this, but you're going to want to read the instructions. So you can see these bent pieces. Just orientate it just like the picture shows, and then Lonnie's going to place this one on there, and then with the front bumper, you basically just hook it all in, push it tight, and he's going to get all of his 4 bolts started, and then we can tighten this up and then move this over to the frame.
That'll square it.
Yeah. That goes inside it. All right, so we got the tongue laid right here. We've been through a ton of the bolts and washers. It comes with thousands of pieces of hardware, but the first part is frustrating, putting those frame rails. After that, it's actually really fun. It's like a big Lego.
Like a puzzle.
Yeah, it's super fun. So we can't put this rail on because this is a kind of a pre-production kit. So hopefully this won't happen to any of you guys, but the manufacturer did send 2 driver side tongue plates. So this plate goes right there and bolts to the tongue. So we have 2 driver side instead of a left and a right hand one. So we're going to put the tongue on, but it'll be missing this plate until Harbor Freight sends it. They know about it. They're sending it over. So we're going to get the tongue done next. We put all the cross rails in. All the measurements are in. Everything just bolts up flawlessly. And this is actually a very well-built trailer. Like, I'm super surprised. This is going to be, I mean, it's made to handle 2,000 pounds. It will handle that no problem. So we'll put the tripod up. We'll get the front tongue. We'll basically have 3 brackets. There's one here, one on each corner, and we're missing the one over there. So we'll get that tongue fully bolted up as much as we can. Then when that plate comes in, it's simple as throwing it on. We just won't haul nothing on it until that comes in. This is my favorite thing. It's like not with the doors.
Those definitely look like they'll get pushed out some, these front ones.
Yeah, well, we got to go way in. It's one thing. So there it is. This is the bracket we had, and we're missing, like I said, the other side. So it is not on there at the moment, but it has front brackets that we have locked down on both sides. We have all of our supports tightened down. Now we can move on to mounting the leaf springs and then dropping the axle in. Me and Lonnie has joked around this entire build like when you build something, you get so far and you realize you made a mistake. Well, we did that. The worst mistake too. So the worst part of it is putting the first frame rails together. Their instruction is probably as good as they can be, but you have to pay attention to every single detail of every bracket, because what we did is we got these side plates swapped, and it's a massive problem because I'll show you on the leaf spring. So this is the driver's side. This shackle mount is wider than that one. The reason it's wider is because it's made for the pivoting little drop down arm. So that's supposed to be on the rear and it's on the front, because we got these plates flipped. So what we didn't pay attention to on the instructions, basically make sure when you're looking at these brackets, see, these are closer together than these. These are wider. Pay attention to that orientation. We got it wrong. So now, unfortunately, we have to take off these crossbars. We got to put this on jack stands and try to keep everything level. This is not the way you'd want to do it. And then we got to unbolt this whole entire thing and flip it to the other side and flip flop them and try to keep everything together. I don't know how we're going to do that. So pay attention very close. This was very hard to understand. And if we would have noticed the offset and how they were showing it, it's dumb. All right, surprisingly, that only took us literally 10 minutes to do. Nothing separated. We put jack stands under it everywhere. So now we can properly put this on with the shackle at the back, the drop shackle. And then make sure you put your leaf spring on the correct way, which is the silver clamp on the front. And then as simple as, again, we're doing this opposite of the direction. They say to assemble this off. We're not doing that. It could bite us in the rear, maybe, but I don't know.
There we go.
So this is the bracket that we was missing. We had two right or left hand side. So your passenger side is always your right hand side. So this is all we was missing to put this thing together. So we use the square washers on this. We found out after getting done with this thing how much we did last time, that it came with a wrench to hold these square nuts. Never knew it. Not the whole time we was building this thing. We didn't need it really. But it's cool that they gave you that. So we'll get this installed, and then we actually got in the mail, because they're still rolling out new accessories. But we have the stabilizer jacks for the rear. So we'll be putting those on next. We do not have the ramp storage, or the sidewalls that they came out with. So that'll be next. But we are going to install the stabilizers, then the tongue box. So that'll be next. All right, here's the little stabilizer jacks. They're not jacks, they're just feet that are adjustable, of course. You can see we've already did the other side over there, and it sticks up quite a bit. But once you get the sidewalls on, you're not going to notice it. So all you do is pull out these four. So we're going to pull the bolt out of the square washer, put a regular washer on it. This way we're going to do this. put this on, square washer on the back side, and then thread it in. And then once you get this bolted in, you can slide on the leg, and that's it. It's that simple. I'm telling you, we said it a couple times, Harbor Freight did a dang good job. The very first, you gotta just read and read and read. But they did a very good job at engineering this thing. It's got a roller hole and a pin. Man, we have stabilizer jacks, which is nice. Putting in a mower or something. All right, so now we're gonna go with the decking boards. No, we're gonna go ahead and mount the toolbox next. All right, so this is not for this trailer. Like, it's not sold as a kit. But basically, I'm gonna put this on until it matches the sides. Then we're gonna mark the trailer underneath, drill 4 3/8 or 1/2 inch holes, put bolts and nuts, and then we'll have this gap back here, which we're gonna mount a winch to in the next video. I got a pretty good idea to put a winch in a box so it's weatherproof, and keep a 12-volt battery in here to run the winch. Then I'm gonna wire it where my truck charges the battery when we're driving, and put a solar panel on the lid of this so it keeps the battery topped off. Harbor Freight gives you a bunch of self-tapping screws for this. I don't want to use self-tapping screws. In the past, I've used them on a trailer, and if the trailer boards start bowing, it can snap these. So we may use self-tappers to get them held down, and then re-drill them with 1/4 inch and put carriage bolts from the top with a nylon lock nut on the bottom. And I would like to strip 3 areas with flat stock. I don't know if we have any 1/8 inch flat stock, just to cap off where it don't split the wood over time. It gives it a lot better turnout. But we do have to cut these boards down about 1 inch to drop down in there. So we're gonna measure the opening, we'll get all of them cut, and then we'll get these bolted down. I am gonna stain these. I wish I could stain them before putting them down, but it's like 20 degrees outside, so I don't want to stain it. So what we'll do is, once we have some summer days that dry this out, we'll stain it with it on there just to protect the top of it. Basically, it was under $100 for all the wood because we ended up getting it at a local lumber supply. So we got all the wood put on the trailer. We're going to stain it once it dries out, but this trailer is going to work out great for the Gator. We've been using it. I've already actually scuffed up my wood and stuff, but when we need to move a new project into the shop or an old project that don't have tires and wheels, we basically slide it up on this trailer. We do have the side railing coming, as well as the ramp storage and the ramps, but they're not here yet. But this is just going to be super handy for using around the house. We're also going to be putting a 3,500 pound winch right here. We got to build a bracket for it that bolts on, and then we can drag projects up on it. This is a very well built trailer. I was skeptical because I hadn't even seen it, pre-production or anything. It's very strong. Now we're in this, since we did add the toolbox, probably around $1,500 is what it would take to get this trailer set up completely like this with the wood. The wood was under 100. We used the hardware that they gave us. I do think there's better ways you can put the wood on, but all in all, a pretty sturdy trailer. Definitely would hold 2,000 pounds. Just a 5 foot wide is what's going to get you on a trailer like this, trying to haul buggies and stuff. But if you're mini bikes and smaller go-karts, or just a smaller lawnmower, this is a really good trailer. Make sure to check out the links in the video description. Massive shout out to Harbor Freight for sending this out for us to do a review on and to use around the shop. It's going to be a super big upgrade from dragging stuff in the dirt all the way to the garage. This Gator's coming in clutch for that. So we got some more upgrades coming to this thing. We're going to fully do it up for mini bikes and stuff. So stay tuned. Thank you, Harbor Freight. Thank you guys for watching. We love you, and God bless.